It is the 27th day in the month of August. Oshun is 31 years old today. So congratulations to us. Congratulations, and thank God for giving us the grace to witness another Oshun at 31. So this note that I'm welcoming you to this edition of the Saturday Money Trades. My name is Oluchi Hamda. Yes, we have lots of programs lined up for your viewing pleasure this morning. We'll be starting with the SMT Sport with Omotayo Adibodo. He will be telling us everything we need to know from the world of sport. And thereafter, we'll take a look at what the newspapers have for us this morning on the newspaper review. From now going to our guest platform. Yes, you can guess what we'll be discussing in our first guest platform this morning. It is Oshun at 31. How far have we gone? Yes, we'll have a guest in the house who will do justice to the topic this morning. And in our second guest platform, we'll also be discussing an issue that is affecting almost everybody. It is the ASU strike, the persistent ASU strike. It seems no solution is in sight at the moment. So we're taking a look at the effect of the crisis, how it can be resolved by both the academic union and the federal government. And we'll also go to our commercial reporter where now will be telling us what they have for the members of the public this morning. So it's a loaded package for your viewing pleasure. So don't go anywhere as I invite Omotayo Adibodo for the Saturday Money Trade Sports. Stay tuned.
After suffering their joint heaviest defeat of the season against Rivers United, Enyimba returned to Aba to welcome struggling Kano Pillars.
And here is Awoni, and it's 2-0.
Thanks to a goal and an assist from Taiwo Awoni, Union Berlin picked up another 3 points at Bremen and are proving to be the surprise team of the season.
Union Berlin in their fairy tale season.
The club from the German capital is currently in 5th place, just 1 point behind Borussia Dortmund. Max Kruse arrived at the beginning of the season, and his goals propelled the Berliners towards the upper echelons of the league. He's currently out injured, and now another newcomer is following in his footsteps. 23-year-old Taiwo Awoni is already in his 3rd season in Germany, on loan from Liverpool. After a spell at FSV Frankfurt, the Nigerian forward played for Mainz last season.
This is dangerous. Awoni is there. Awoni scores.
It was to remain his only goal for the 05ers, but this season he could now make his big breakthrough with Union. Awoni's already notched up 5 goals, and they've all come in the last 7 match days. See for yourself, here are all of his goals so far this campaign.
Chance now taken by Taiwo Awoni. His first goal for Union Berlin, and it was one of those simple goals. A simple ball, it wasn't closed down, and he did what he had to do. It's a nice ball and actually well dealt with in the end. Awoni in behind with a chance. He's snuck it into the far corner. And just when Hertha had been applying the pressure, it's Union who go down the other end, and Taiwo Awoni breaks the deadlock for the visitors. To the centre, another header, and another great goal. A gorgeous header from the Nigerian Taiwo Awoni. Put a smile on your face, Wars. That was a gorgeous goal. It's met, and Union lead, and just as we were saying, the corners and set pieces are the weapon for Union Berlin, and it's Taiwo Awoni who breaks the deadlock and finally opens his account. Next to clearances, it's gone for Awoni, and it's going to trickle in, and Taiwo Awoni continues.
Welcome to Sport. Yes, the sports segment on Saturday morning. TREATON OSBC TV. There we go. Motayo Adebodo is my name, and yes, I'm welcoming you to this morning's segment. And with 5 days, with 5 days to go in the transfer market, so many bats goes up and down. Yes, so many clubs are switching gears, so many players switching clubs, and yes, at the moment we can confirm to you that it's a real quick deal for Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad to Newcastle. Talking about Newcastle, the new oil money in the English Premier League. Now, take away Manchester City next. You'd pick Newcastle. Of course, they've confirmed the signing of Alexander Isak. When we get there, we'll give you the full story. And also, Neil Mope, yes, it's joined Everton on a 3-year deal. Neil Mope joined Everton from Brighton and over beyond. And yes, of course, that's another vacancy. Of course, in Brighton and over beyond for them to replace the outgone player Porter. Be that as it may, so many news are coming from the world of tennis, and of course the biggest news would be that of the pairing of the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. Yes, Europa Champions League is not for the weak. Of course, Arsenal and Manchester United got a favorable, they both got a favorable pairing as far as the group stage of the Europa League is concerned. And yes, so many news emanating from the world of tennis this morning. as we understand as well that Watson might not be participating at this year's tournament, both would see how things bounce out in that encounter. Of course, I'll give you a result of matches that were decided yesterday and matches that will be decided today and tomorrow in selected leagues across Europe. Of course, good news for Chelsea fans. Chelsea are finally reaching an agreement with Leicester City for the signature of Leicester City defender under 21-year defender Wesley Fofana. Yes, we understand that they have struck a deal, but bad news for Manchester United at the moment, cause their bid of £76.3 million has been rejected by Ajax for Anthony. We'll see how things bounce out eventually in that encounter. And of course, bad news for Chelsea fans as N'Golo Kante will be out for another 4 weeks. I think Chelsea needs to sign a replacement real quick. But we'll begin with the result of matches decided yesterday in some of the selected leagues, and of course selected leagues in Europe, and today as well matches that will be going down. We understand that Leicester City will be playing against Chelsea, and of course Wesley Fofana would not be part of the party or would not be part of the trip today to Stamford Bridge due to one or two tenable reasons by the coach, and Scarce is been the subject of transfer recently, and of course it might affect the club and the players psychologically, so he has been dropped. But on to result of matches decided yesterday in an international friendly match. Qatar and Jamaica played out a 1-1 draw, and of course La Liga Santander resumed yesterday with Celta Vigo doing the needful against Girona. 1-0 ended. Of course, Real Betis pipped Osasuna 1-0 in that encounter as well. Two matches were decided yesterday night in the Spanish, in the Italian Serie A, where Udinese defeated Monza 2-1. Of course, Lazio surprised at home yesterday as they defeated Inter Milan 3-1. Inter Milan with Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez. Well, they were unable to prove their worth yesterday against the Lazio team. And here's in the German Bundesliga, just a match went down yesterday, and that's the match between Freiburg and Bochum. And of course, the match between AC Ajaccio and Lille ended in favor of Lille 3-0. It ended in that encounter. Today it is Manchester United and Southampton that would open up the English Premier League by 12:30. Southampton will be at St. Mary's welcoming rejuvenated, or probably rejuvenating and hungry Manchester United to St. Mary's Park. Today, of course, Brentford will be at the Brentford Community Stadium welcoming Everton. Who do you think will come out on top there? Well, I see Everton still doing the needful against I see Brentford rather doing the needful against Everton tonight. That's my honest opinion. Of course, Brighton and Hove Albion takes on Leeds United today, and Chelsea will be playing against Leicester City at Stamford Bridge. All these matches by 3 p.m. Same. Liverpool will be at Anfield welcoming AFC Bournemouth, and Manchester City also would be playing against Crystal Palace. All these matches would be by 3 p.m. kickoff time. And at 5:30, the Gunners are 6 points from 3, 9 points from 3 games, and top of the table for now. Yes, top of the table for now. Gunners will be at Emirates welcoming Fulham by 5:30 p.m. in the La Liga Santander today. 4:30 is the match between Elche and Real Sociedad. Rayo Vallecano up against Mallorca. Meria up against Sevilla by 9 p.m. And yes, and the Serie A today, Cremonese up against Torino by 5:30. Same time, Juventus host Roma. Yes, this is going to be another big game in the Italian Serie A tonight. Of course, well, I see Juventus coming out on top of this game, but it's going to be a little bit difficult considering the fact that they played out a goalless draw in their last match. And of course, Roma has been doing well. Well, we'll see how things pans out. AC Milan, 7:45 p.m. would play against Bologna, while Spezia would play against Sassuolo. And then, of course, in the Bundesliga today, Hector Berlin against Borussia Dortmund by 2:30 p.m. Hoffenheim against Augsburg, Mainz against Bayern Leverkusen, 2:30 p.m. RB Leipzig up against Wolfsburg at 2:30 p.m. And Schalke 04 up against Union Berlin at 2:30 p.m. And yes, 5:30 p.m. is the match between Bayern Munich and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yes, Borussia Mönchengladbach. Well, another straight win for Bayern Munich. We'll see how things pans out in the League One today. Oria against Strasbourg and Lens by 8 p.m. would play against Rennes. And of course, tomorrow, as far as selected leagues is concerned in the English Premier League, Aston Villa will be up against West Ham United by 2 p.m. Same time, the matchup between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Newcastle United. Of course, probably Alexander Isak will be making his debut for Newcastle United tomorrow. Of course, Callum Wilson has been or is out injured at the moment. So, tentatively, he might probably be starting from the bench or starting, being the starting lineup, depending on the choice of the coach. And, of course, we will see how things eventually pans out on Sunday. And Nottingham Forest will be at home welcoming Tottenham Hotspur by 4:30 p.m. in the La Liga Santander. Getafe up against Villarreal. Barcelona against Real Valladolid. Of course, Espanyol by 9 p.m. will take on Real Madrid. Hala Madrid in the Serie A. A few matches will be going down. 5:30 is the match tomorrow between Salernitana and Sampdoria. And 5:30 is the match between Verona and Atalanta. Of course, at 7:45 p.m. Fiorentina will play against Napoli. Same time, Lecce will play against Empoli. And of course, in the Bundesliga, FC Köln, of course, will play against VfB Stuttgart. Werder Bremen up against Eintracht Frankfurt. And in the League One, French League One, we have Nantes up against Toulouse, Brest up against Montpellier, Lyon up against Clermont Foot, and Nice against Marseille, Troyes against Angers, Reims against Lyon, and of course Paris Saint-Germain at 7:45 p.m. would play against Paris Saint-Germain by 7:45 p.m. will play against Monaco. Well, with the current form of PSG, well, you'd expect probably another straight win for them. But, well, we cannot probably say this is how the match would go down. This is football. Anything can happen when it comes to things like this. So you can't probably predict. But, well, be that as it may, I see another win for Christopher Gittler's side. Well, they've been quite impressive since the beginning of this league campaign. Of course, we'll hope that they will be able to continue this impressive run. But let's bring you stories, and starting with transfers in this morning, as we understand that Ajax have rejected Manchester United's latest offer of £96.3 million for Brazil winger. Talking about Antonio, approximately 90 million euros. And United have been chasing the 22-year-old for several weeks and saw £67.9 million offer revoked by the club earlier this week. And yes, Anthony was omitted from the Ajax squad last Sunday's win over Sparta Rotterdam, in the latest indication that the player wants to move to Old Trafford. But the champion have stood firm against United's improved offer. Well, we will see how things pans out, but a move to United will see Anthony reunite with Ajax boss, talking about Eric Ten Hag, who has already recruited defender Lisandro Martinez from the club. And despite rejecting the latest bid, talks are ongoing between the two clubs ahead of the transfer deadline, September 1st. Like I said, the clock is ticking fast. 5 days to go, and of course every other business will be in January transfer window. Well, let's look at Anthony's record as far as the Eredivisie is concerned. He's played 57 games and, of course, 82nd ranked. And yes, goals. He has 18 goals to his name. And start talking about his start in 2020-21 season rather. And he has 14 assists to his name. And of course, he is the 7th on that ranking. Yes, goals scored is the 19th on the ranking with 18 goals scored. Well, it's short. We have 147 short from 2020-21 season, 11th on the ranking, and chances created 75. And well, it's 21st on that ranking, but hopefully they will be able to agree a bit before the first day in the month of September. Hopefully. Well, moving on, still talking transfer this morning. Chelsea are close to agreeing a deal with Leicester City and the defender Wesley Fofana for believed to be £70 million plus add-ons, and the bid is rejected. The bid is Chelsea's fourth bid for the French centre-back, having seen an offer of £60 million upfront rejected by the Foxes earlier this week. And of course, Leicester City Brendan Rodgers confirmed that Fofana, who missed that last weekend defeat to Southampton amid speculation over his future, would also be unavailable for Chelsea's trip today. And yes, Fofana wants to move to the Blues. And speaking after Leicester's penalty shootout victory against Stockport in the Carabao Cup, Rodgers confirmed that the player has been training with the under-23 after failing to turn up to a training section last week, which happens to be probably his own punishment. Well, he thought a third bid by Fofana, a third bid by Chelsea for Fofana was worth £70 million in total. Was immediately rejected earlier this week. And yes, the offer was believed to be 60 million with a possible 10 million in add-ons, but additional payment were described as ambiguous. Target. Well, for Wesley Fofana in the Premier League 2020-2021 season, ranking possession 1 in defense, third. We are 4.526 in the ranking, Premier League ranking. Well, interception we have 2.35, is fifth in the ranking. Area duel 1, we have 3.47, that's is 28. Passes are completed 60.32, that's 28 in ranking, and touches is 2019 ranking with 85.30. 3 in that encounter. Well, we can only wish Chelsea and this guy, we can only wish him well at the moment. But still talking about Chelsea before we talk about other transfer stories this morning, as we understand that Chelsea's manager Thomas Tuchel says key players N'Golo Kante will miss at least 4 weeks with hamstring injury, and the 31-year-old French midfielder picked up the injury in the 2-2 draw with Tottenham and missed the 3-0 defeat by Leeds last weekend. Of course, Chelsea will be without Chelsea will be without Thomas Tuchel in the dugout against Leicester today because of the 1 match touchline ban, and they appealed against the ban imposed by the confrontation with Antonio Conte at the end of the side's debut against Tottenham on the 14th of August. But yesterday, the Football Association confirmed that his appeal has not been successful. Well, Thomas Tuchel will be able to attend the Leicester City match at Stamford Bridge and can interact with the squad, but he must not enter the dugout. Well, this is a pretty difficult one for them. Well, despite shaking off nail injury, Croatia international Mateo Kovacic, who has yet to make an appearance this season, is not ready to start Chelsea's midfield for today's game against Leicester City. And Thomas Tuchel expect to serve the one-match touchline ban this weekend following his confrontation. And yes, summer signing Kalidou Koulibaly also picked up a red card in the match against Leeds United, and of course hopefully this does not affect the performance of Chelsea this afternoon. But still talking transfer this morning, like I said, so many things has been going on in the transfer world with 5 days to go. Yes, Neil Maupay, Everton have completed the signing of striker Neil Maupay from Premier League rivals Brighton for an undisclosed fee. And yes, the players, the French player has joined the Toffees on a 3-year deal. He's joined the Toffees on a 3-year deal, keeping him at the club until 2025. And Maupay scored 26 goals in 102 appearances for Brighton, having signed from Brentford in 2019. Yes, for £16 million. And yes, Maupay becomes Everton's sixth signing of the summer following the arrival of James Strauss-Kay, Ruben Vingrage, Dwayne Knight, of course, Kano Cody and Amadou Onana. Yes, Frank Lampard, who happens to be Everton boss, has been keen to strengthen his attacking options after losing Richarlison to Tottenham in the summer. And of course, early season injury to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And yes, let's see if it's going to be a productive one for both teams. And still talking transfer, yes, the new oil money in England at the moment. Talking about Newcastle, they've completed the signing of Sweden striker Alexandra Isak from Real Sociedad on a season longer. Of course, Real Sociedad on a longer term deal, understood to be worth £60 million, a record fee. And yes, the 22-year-old becomes a Maccabi's fourth signing of the summer after Matt Tigert, Nick Pope, and Steve Boatsman. Yes, were signed from their respective clubs. And of course, Isaac scored 44 goals in 132 appearances for Sociedad, with his 9 in cap, 37 caps for his country. Well, the ex-Borussia Dortmund player Isaac arrived at the St. James's Park, boosting Newcastle in all options, given the injury record of Callum Wilson, who is currently out with an hamstring injury. And of course, would see probably if he will be making his debut. And he has always also said he thinks that Newcastle goalkeeper Martin Dubravka was in talks with Manchester United over a move, but a report have linked the Slovenia with a move to Old Trafford after he was displaced as club's number one by Nick Pope. But United are currently looking for an option at the back, yes, at their back, to be a second choice or play a second fiddle to their goalkeeper. Talking about the Spanish David De Gea. And of course, currently Dean Henderson is on loan to Nottingham Forest, so they need a backup goalkeeper as it stands. But I would see how things eventually pans out with Dubravka and Manchester United. But coming back to Manchester United and Arsenal, with who got a favorable draw as far as Europa League and of course the Europa Conference League is concerned. Of course, we begin with the group of the Europa League and the Europa Conference League this morning. And we begin with the Europa League group stage. Manchester United would play La Liga Real Sociedad, while Arsenal will face former champion PSV Eindhoven in the Europa League group stage. And let's begin the full group stage draw. As we understand, Arsenal have been placed in Group A with PSV Eindhoven, Bodo Glimt, and FC Zurich from Switzerland. Those are the groups in Group A at the moment, and in Group B, Dynamo Kiev, Rennes, FC Fenerbahce, and AEK Lanaka. Those are the groups. Those are the teams in Group B. And on Group C, we have AS Roma, we have Lodorant, we have Real Betis, HK Lenski. Those are the groups in Group C. Group D, we have Braga, Malmo, Union Berlin, and Union Saint Giliosis. And yes, in Group E, we have Manchester United, Real Sociedad, FC Sheriff, Omonia, Nicosia. Those are the groups in Group AE. And of course, Lazio, Feyenoord, FC Michelin, SK Stormgrass, the teams that I find in Group F. Of course, Group G consists of Olympiacos, Karabakh, Freiburg, and Nantes. And Nantes will be playing in the Europa League. Again, of course, we have Reds, Red Star Belgrade, Red Star Belgrade, Monaco, Fenerbahce, and of course Trabzonspor in Group H of the Europa League at the moment. Well, Europa League at the moment, would see how things eventually pans out. And Manchester United, who won the tournament in 2017, played Real Sociedad in the group stage of the Champions League in 2013, and in the last 32 of Europa League in 2021, with United winning 4-0 on aggregate. And Sheriff, of course, all our three Arsenal group stage rivals dropped out of the Champions League qualifying phase, which makes it more and more interesting. Well, it's going to be another big game this season, yes, with or in the Champions League. In the Champions League, and yes, with some of our Nigerian players, they'll be playing as far as the Champions League, Europa League, and of course Europa Conference League. Simon will be playing for Nantes in the Europa League. Victor Osimhen will be playing in the Champions League. Wilfred indeed, of course, will be playing in the Europa League as well. But I would see eventually how things pans out. But another player that will think could have stayed in Glasgow Rangers, probably has moved to another club at the moment. Well, we see how things eventually pans out, but from there, let's talk about the move to QPR, talking about Balogun's move. Of course, defender Leon Balogun is pleased to join QPR, Koei Parks Rangers, and the free agent has agreed a 1-year deal at Loftus Road following his departure from Glasgow Rangers at the end of the season. And Balogun started 4 years worked with head coach Mike Bale at Ibros, and is excited to be teaming up with him once again. Yes, is an aggressive, and he thinks he is a fighter as well. And during their time together north of the border, Rangers won the Scottish Premier League for the first time in 10 years, ending their league campaign undefeated with a club record 102 points. And yes, Balogun hasn't played since leaving Rangers at the end of last season, but he's confident he can get up to speed quickly as he looks to get his career in W12 and of course up and running. Well, we'll eventually see how things pans out for Balogun, but let's let you know that the players that will be representing us as far as the Chan qualification, that's Super Eagles Team B, the Chan Super Eagles Team B. They've arrived in Ghana. Of course, they will be playing their first leg in Ghana before coming back for the second leg here. And yes, would probably see how things eventually goes there, but it's going to be a difficult game, like the coach rightly said. But he said he's picked 23 players that would be preferable for him, and of course 23 players that can do the damage both home and away to the Ghanaians, of course the Galaxies of Ghanaians. But I would eventually see how things pans out in that encounter. Pick up the win away from home, and of course come and finish your job at home. But let's cross and switch gears and talk basketball because of our time. Nigeria's D Tigers got their campaign in the second round of the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifiers off the poor start after losing 78 to 63 to Ivory Coast in Group E. And of course, the D Tigers failed to win any of their 4 quarters through the tough encounter. And after a 14 point score in the first quarter, Ivory took the second quarter 28 points to the Tigers 22, and the Ivorians took the third 18 to 16 before rounding off the game with 18 to 14 points in the fourth quarter. And of course, the Nigeria team will hope to be bouncing back or to bounce back from the defeat to Cote d'Ivoire when they will play Guinea later today. And meanwhile, other group results saw Cape Coast defeat Guinea 65 to 48. Angola overcame Uganda 84 to 62, and the qualifiers will determine the 5 African teams that will participate at the 2023 FIBA World Cup. And still on the home scene, as we understand that from the Diamond League, yes, Olympic champion Jasmine Camacho Queen beat Oluwatobi Amusan to first position in the 100-meter hurdles at the Diamond League in last minute, and Camacho Queen will run the race with a time of 12.34 seconds, while Amusan came second in 12.45 seconds, and America's Ty Jones came third with 12.46 seconds. Amusan has been in scintillating form recently, and the 25-year-old won gold medal at the 2022 World Athletics Championship, setting a new world record of 12.12 seconds in the semi-finals, followed up by a win that assisted 12.06 seconds in the final. Of course, she also won gold medal as far as the medal in the Commonwealth Games in Premier is concerned. But our time is fast spent this morning. Let's let you know that it's Watson from the world of tennis might Britain Watson and Paul Job missed out on reaching the main draws of the US Open after suffering defeat in their final qualifying matches. Former British former British number 1 Watson, who's 30 years last won a direct qualification to a Grand Slam at the 2019 US Open. And of course, the unwanted record for the world number 1 61 continued with 3-6 6-4 7-5 loss to 16-year-old Czech Sarah Belzlik, and Job, who is 22 years old, world number 203, was unable to get past Dutch Glebs Brewer, losing 6-7, 6-3, 2-6, and the final Grand Slam of the year starts on Monday at Flourishing Meadow in New York. And Watson that defeat means that there will be 2 Britain women in the singles draw, with defending champion Emma Raducanu and Aret that already are in a direct entrance. Job was seeking to join Andrew Murray, Canonori, Dan Evans, Jack Draper, and Kyle Edmond in the men's draw. Well, it's not a good one for them. But let's wrap up with transfer rumors this morning. What's going on as far as transfer rumors is concerned? We understand at the moment that Leicester City are considering a loan move for Borussia Dortmund and Switzerland defender Manuel Akanji, who is 27 years, as replacement for Chelsea's target Fofana. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo, as representative George Mendes has approached Napoli over a potential move for Manchester United, and Portugal forward, who is 37, Cristiano Ronaldo, who is keen on getting a Champions League football this season. Liverpool could offer Brazil forward Roberto Firmino, is 30 years, in exchange for Paris Saint-Germain and Argentina midfielder Lisandro Perez, who is 28 years old. And of course, both Manchester United have made another approach to 33-year-old Aubameyang, who is also a target for for is also a target for Chelsea. And yes, West Ham have agreed a deal to sign Lyon midfielder Lucas Paqueta from the French club. Borg rejected the first to bid for the 24-year-old Brazil international. And finally, this morning, Celtic and Denmark under-21 midfielder Mark O'Reilly, who's 21 years, is attracting attention from Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester United. Finally, Nottingham Forest have made an approach to Everton to sign England defender, talking about Michael King. Yes, Michael King, who is 29 years on loan. Yes, we need to wrap up to make our way for the remaining segment on Saturday morning. TREATON Motayo Adebodun is my name. And of course, we do hope that you enjoyed the remaining segment on Saturday morning. TREATON appear at 31st anniversary to Ocean State. And of course, until next time we'll meet, I say don't stop loving sport. Good morning.
After a spell at FSV Frankfurt, the Nigerian forward played for Mainz last season.
This is dangerous. Awani is there. Awani scores.
Tiwantiwa ni Ọ̀ṣun. Tiwantiwa ní ìpínlẹ̀ àwa.
That is with me this morning is Saturday Tribune, and I have all these stories. Insecurity: 5,000 Nigerian children may die of starvation by October. UN cries out. Then I have another story here. Meetings with Obasanjo, Tinubu, Atiku, Obi in Nigeria's interest. That is coming from Wiki. Then I have another one here. Bandits stole my chickens, but my heart. Now let me review the paper here. Insecurity: 5,000 Nigerian children may die of starvation by October. That is coming from UN. The United Nations has raised the alarm that no fewer than 5,000 children in war-ravaged northeastern Nigeria will die of starvation in the next 2 months unless the world raises the necessary funds for intervention. Let me see another story here. My London meetings with Obasanjo, Tinubu, Atiku, Obi in Nigeria's interest. That is coming from Wiki. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has said that his London meetings with the presidential candidate of All Progressives Congress, Senator Bola Tinubu, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, and the presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and former President Olusegun Obasanjo were in the interest of the nation. He spoke at the VIP launch of the Port Harcourt International Airport on his arrival from London. Wike said consultations were still on as no concrete decision had been taken, adding that the meetings dwelled on the need to save Nigeria for future generations. Okay, let me see another story here. Government caucus working against ending insecurity. That is coming from a SDP flag bearer. The presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewale Adebayo, has alleged the presence of a caucus in government against the successful termination of insecurity in the country because its members are benefiting from it. Speaking at a press briefing in Abuja, he observed there is convergence of interest between those causing insecurity and those in charge of solving the problem. Then, let me quickly see another story here. Two trapped, 4 rescues as 3-story building collapses in Abuja. 2 persons were on Thursday trapped under the rubble of a 3-story building believed to be a shopping mall under reconstruction near Ashu Savings in Kubwa, a suburb of Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. That is how far we will be able to go on a newspaper segment of the program for today. Now we have the Governor's Week, the activities of the governor in the week. So we'll come back after that. Stay tuned.
Yes, you are welcome back. If you just joined us, it is still the Saturday morning trades. Yes, Osun is 31. I said earlier, happy celebrations. Yes, we have our guests in the house this morning. We'll be taking a look at the crisis in the education sector, particularly the face-off between the ASU and the federal government. It's been on since February, and an end seems to be very, very far towards the the resolution of the crisis. Yes, we have a guest in the house who will be discussing this with us this morning and probably provide solutions on how the crisis can be resolved. Kayode,
thank
please
you,
introduce our
Amici.
guest.
Now, our guest is right here with us in the house, Dr. Olufemi Bibilari. He will be speaking on the crisis rocking the ASU, between the ASU and the federal government, particularly on the proposed 10,000 naira proposed by this parent to support as a levy to support the education.
Yes.
So, Dr. Bibilari, you are welcome on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Bibilari. Yes, ASU, federal government, it's been more than 6 months now, started February.
Yes.
Did you envisage that it will actually get to this stage at this particular point in time?
Thank you. It is unfortunate that it has been so long that ASU has been on strike. Nobody envisaged it. We thought it's a child play, but unfortunately, it has turned to another thing entirely. You see, we have been appealing to the federal government that they should try and hearken to ASU's request, since they've signed, they've agreed on these points since 2009. So we don't know what is delaying it. But unfortunately, it seems as if the federal government are adamant now. Look at it. When they said the Minister for Labour is not handling the issue very well, they said Minister for Education, Mr. Adamu should take over. But all are still on the same point now. We cannot undo it. It's unfortunate. And our children, they are languishing outside in pain without any resolution.
Now, in your own view, what do you really think that it is making the problem becoming hydra-headed? Is it the intransigence of the federal government or the too much demands on the part of ASU?
Thank you. At the ab initio, the federal government themselves says, even the president said they are not aware that ASUs are on strike. You see, that is one problem. It is unfortunate. The Minister for Labour might not be the rampage that is supposed to be in the square hole. You see, at times they are not concerned about true citizenry. All what they are doing, look at, as soon as are now saying all what they are demanding is not up to half of salaries of these people at the assembly in Abuja. So what are we now saying? What are we doing? So to that extent, had it been the federal government, they nailed the nail at the head initially, maybe it wouldn't have escalated to this extent. Now it has become another thing. Even we parents, on serious notes, we are saying if federal government can consider ASU members to some extent, but saying they won't pay them at all for that 6 months might be another thing. Some of them are indebted to food sellers and some other people. But be that as it may be, are they going to recover all the lost period for these students? So these are
all right.
things.
Now, some Nigerians have actually accused members of ASU of insensitivity, that most of their children are in private universities, and that is why they are dragging the strike action, because it is not affecting them in any way. What do you have to say about that, sir?
Initially, we've been saying children of most of these ministers, those people that are in places, in positions that their children are not schooling in Nigeria. We did not mention ASU. I know many of these lecturers that have their children also in Nigeria universities. Now, I mean, if you weigh what has federal government been doing for the past 6 months, they've now resolved most of the things that they demanded for. But the issue of salary that is delayed, the assumption now, which I think it should be a little to the right and a little to the left. They should not say they will not pay them at all for the period of 6 months. I don't think it's fair.
Now, sorry, let me ask this. What then can government do to actually forestall future industrial action like this? Because when you know that even if you do not work for a year, and when you resume, you will still be paid.
Yes.
You know, you would just be eager to go. Because most of these lecturers have been accused of, being affiliated with other private universities. So even when they are not working for government, they are still working for private universities. Most of them own the private universities. Yeah. They are still making their money, and they will still be paid for the work they did not do. Is that justifiable, sir?
Actually, it is not. You see, we are not even comparing it. If you work in Liver Brothers company, if you work at Leventis company, will you be there for 6 months and expected to be paid? No, they won't pay. It is because this thing is government, federal government's affair, and they thought we can dip hands into the pot and settle the bill. It is not fair, actually, and that is what I said. That is why I said they should move a little to the right, a little to the left. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not expecting the federal government to pay full salary for the period of 6 months.
Now, as it is now, apart from a little to the right and a little to the left, what other areas will you like the government to focus into in order to resolve the crisis?
Thank you. As I've earlier said, they've reached a compromise now.
Okay.
That all what we promised you in 2019, like research fundings, and some other things, that they are ready to follow it to the last letter. It is this issue of salary that is now the cog in the wheel of resumption. So that's why I said, what can we do? These lecturers said they are not resuming if they are not being paid. The federal government said they cannot afford to pay this money. So that is why I said I thank God for the life of few broadcasters, radio stations, television stations. You've been hammering this thing day in, day out, so that they should resolve. But the two sides now, they are adamant, and it's unfortunate. We as my sister even mentioned the other time, that some people suggested that parents should be paying 10,000. Are they not paying the school fees, the fees before? Some universities are paying exorbitant price amount of money. That's why the fact that they are federal universities. So why do we need to believe our parents again? It is unfair. I don't subscribe to that idea.
All right, sir. A few days ago, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice announced that the U.S. government is willing, that they've signed an agreement for the U.S. government to repatriate some Abacha load, about $23 million.
Yes.
Now, some Nigerians have said, yes, this money is coming in, even though the federal government said it's using it, it's going to use it to finance some projects, federal projects, roads and rail projects, that government can dip its money, its hand into the money, and use it to settle the salary backlog of ASU that is delaying the strike from being called off. What is your take about that, sir?
Thank you. We are not there. If federal government says this is what they are using the money for, all what we know is that monies are coming in.
Yes.
We cannot say categorically that the money being repatriated is a waste. Some people will say they are sharing the money, they are doing this. We are not there, and we cannot say. But if really huge amount of money like that is coming into the country, I think, and we couldn't see any project that the federal government actually attached to that money. Then the rail that we said we are doing,
yes,
we are still borrowing money.
Expressway, the second Niger bridge, that is what the government said.
And they are using the money for. but they budgeted for the money that they will spend in building that bridge before.
Yes.
So it shouldn't be this money. It should be a sort of interventory money. How about they spend it on things like this? So what?
So do you think they can use it to solve ASU's problem?
If they actually wish to, they should be able to use it. The money is huge. As some people are even saying, the money from Baba Watimbelono, Abaga is over there now, that they should spend it to settle ASU's problem.
Now, you said the other time that the parents should not be belabored in contributing money again, as long as they are already paying money. But it is the parents themselves that are volunteering now that they will be paying this 10,000 naira in order to support the institutions. So, what's your take on that?
Honestly speaking,
Nobody is forcing them.
There are individual differences.
Okay.
I'm a parent.
Yeah.
I wasn't there when they decided that they will pay 10,000, additional 10,000.
Okay.
Look at the house strength of these students themselves. So unfortunately, you are in the school vicinity here. The houses at times themselves you should come and pay 200,000 to feed these students. If you don't want them to go haywire and join bad people, the cultists, the whatever the yahoo of a thing, then you need to take proper care of them. Where will the 10,000 come again? It is not all the parents that decided that that money should be paid.
Although ASU has actually, asked parents to keep their money, but they are not interested in that. Now, the Students' Union, National Association of Nigerian Students, also made a proposal that there should be government public-private partnership in the funding of education. Do you think that can actually work? Bearing in mind that the motive of government in setting up education is different from the motive of a private individual. So do you think it can actually work?
People are just suggesting what they think should be done. All of the opinion. Look at it. That's why the fact that councils are on strike. Do you know federal government are still establishing more universities? Whereas those that have been established already, they are crying for financing. Why are we doing that again? So that means there is a motive behind it. Some people even said most of these private universities, why the federal government themselves, they bothered not to settle this strike is because most of the institutions, private institutions, have been owned by majority of them
in government.
So they are capitalizing on this strike to make their own cool money. So it's unfortunate the students. Do you know even if they call off ASU strike now, majority of the students will not resume with them because they started learning one trade or the other, and they've discovered there is money in it. Even though some brothers that passed out of the university, what are they doing? They're still strolling around. They're still walking around the street. But they have learned some trades which is fetching them money. So they prefer to stay outside. And all what we've been saying, that even if you want to learn a trade, you need to be sound and well educated. It will help you a lot.
So what are the likely implications of this prolonged strike on the students, the universities, and the society at large?
It is unfortunate. That is what we are saying. You see, when university, when they are even going about their programs as it's supposed to be, there are a lot of dropouts that are not in school. There are some people, some students that are in school that are not serious. So with this now, it will affect us technical wise. The technological productivity that we should expect is no longer there, and indirectly it will affect industrialization because good materials that we are supposed to use, they will not be there. They are not coming out. Look at it. There are some people, there are some students that are supposed to be in the university now, because those that are there, they've not been able to move up, so they are outside with good result, good work. They can't further. These are the implications that, and we know any country that are not serious with their educational set up, then they are running for another thing. If you look at all those countries that are developed, well developed, it is education that they focus on. But here, we are not doing that. What is the percentage of the money allotted to education? Is too meager, it's too small. So it will affect us economically.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí a wò ní èdè abínibí ẹ ṣe pàtó tó ní látàárọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ gbọ́nmi sí omi òtó tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́ láàrin àjọ àwọn olùkọ́ni nílé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga àti ìjọba àpapọ̀ ó ti ń lọ bí oṣù mẹ́fà nísìn wọn àtọ̀tún àtòsí kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ gbà fúnra wọn ìjọba gan ò sì rí nǹkan kan ṣe sí ṣé léyìí ṣé ò bá yín lẹ́rù gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí.
Ó ṣe ni láàánú pẹ̀lú eléyìí lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àwùjọ wa ní sẹ́ńtúrì tí a wà yìí. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ wọ̀nyí à ń sọ pé àwọn lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la wa, àwọn lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la orílẹ̀-èdè yìí gan fúnra ẹ̀. Nígbà tí ìjọba ò wá rí nǹkan ṣe sí, tí àsùn náà tán gbọ́rùn lébi, báwọn ò ní wọlé tí ọwọ́ bá dáwọn lóhun gbogbo táwọn béèrè. Ìjọba ti ẹ̀ tó sọ pé òun tún ti gba gbogbo tán béèrè. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ olówó oṣù, owó ọ̀yà wọn òun ló tún fa wàhálà ní sí ó. Wọ́n sì ní náà bá fún àwọn ò ní ṣe. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí, gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe sọ, ó ṣe ni láàánú. Ó jẹ́ pé àti gbọ́pọ̀ àwọn òbí kan sọ pé kí n 10,000 náà ló ń táwọn yìí. Dẹ̀ pípa a tún gbé ẹrù tí ò ṣe, a tún gbé ẹrù ra wa ni. Ojúṣe ìjọba àpapọ̀ ni láti pèsè ẹ̀kọ́ tó dáa fáwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. So àwọn ibi tó ti gbọ́rọ̀ a rò pé wọ́n lè bá wọn sọ ń bẹ̀. Ẹ wo mínísítà tó wà ní ìgbónú ìgbanisíṣẹ́, ó ṣe kò rí ṣe. Ààrẹ wa fúnra wọ́n ní ẹgbọ́kù tí ó ṣe òun ni mínísítà fétò ẹ̀kọ́. Òun náà náà ti ó ní láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ló promise àpapọ̀ òun fi ṣe. Kò mọ̀ ṣeéṣe òun náà ti ń pé bí oṣù kan báyìí. Kò dáa rárá. Ṣùgbọ́n n tá a tún sọ nísìnyí ni pé adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ èèyàn oníròyìn o, ẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú, ẹ̀ ń bá wọn sọ. Bóyá tábà tún wá bẹ gba àwọn ọba, ká bẹ̀ wọ́n sí ìjọba, ká sì bẹ̀ wọ́n sí àwọn olùkọ́ni tó fà kíkọ́ rí. Bó kán ro tàwọn ọmọ wa, kán mọ̀ ro tí ìjọba ń ṣe fún wọn, káwọn náà gba díẹ̀ kán wọlé.
Ẹ ṣe gan. N táwọn olùkọ́ dúró dè nísìnyí pé oṣù mẹ́fà tí wọ́n fi ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn wọ́n fẹ́ gba owó rẹ̀. Ṣé irú ìgbésẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó tọ́?
Ẹ ṣe irú ìgbésẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yóò tún máa dákún irú ìyanṣẹ́lódì tó ń lọ yìí ni. Ẹ wo àwọn tí wọ́n ń pààyàn kiri bí ẹni fàjábọ̀gún. Ìgbà tí àwọn ìjọba bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fún wọn lówó ètò ń pè ní ransom, òun náà tún ń pọ̀ sí i, wọn rẹ̀ dínkù. Sotẹ́lẹ̀ náà bá tún ṣẹlẹ̀ tí a sùn lárí ó ti ẹ̀díṣẹ́ ó dé oríta kan, àwọn oníṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àwọn náà láwọn lọ ìṣòro gan ẹgbùn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n dáṣẹ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin oníròyìn náà tẹ́ ẹ bá lẹ̀ dáṣẹ́lẹ̀ kí la fẹ́ mọ̀ gbọ́n lé kò dáa. So ta fi rò nìyẹn pé èmi èrò tèmi ní o kò yẹ kó jẹ́ pé gbogbo owó yẹn ìjọba ó san níwọ̀n ìgbà tó yẹ pé gbogbo iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n hàn ṣe nígbà wọn wà ní kí wọ́n hàn ṣe ìlérí fún wa pé àwọn ó ṣe padà. So pé ihun ti lọ báwọn náà nìyẹn. So kán gba díẹ̀ káwọn àtijọba péjọ tó ń fi kùn lókun dáadáa a lè dáwọn ọmọ ìkọ́ o àwọn náà ni ó kọ́ wọn wọn kàn ṣàánú gbogbo àwọn òbí kọ́ mọ̀ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ kan di ọmọ gànfẹ́ ọmọ tí ń rìn títì kiri.
ọ̀dà ìyanṣẹ́lódì yìí a rí i pé ó ti pẹ́ oṣù 6 gbáko ni ǹjẹ́ ó yẹ kó pẹ́ tó báyìí ṣé àṣejù ìjọba àpapọ̀ ni ó pọ̀ jù lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni àbí ti àwọn ẹgbẹ́ olùkọ́ gan tó fi wá pẹ́ tó báyìí torí kò dàbí èkó pẹ́ tó báyìí rí lórílẹ̀‐èdè.
ẹ ṣe nígbà tí wọ́n kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìyanṣẹ́lódì èmi ò mọ̀ wọ́n sọ pé àwọn kan ara àwọn tó wà níjọba pé wọ́n láwọn ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé àwọn asùdásẹ́lẹ̀ fódìdí bí oṣù 4 àkọ́kọ́ ó dàbí pé bí oṣù 2 ní ìsìn náà tó fẹ́ mọ̀ lọ́rùn fún àwọn gbọ́n tí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ń sọ kò yẹ kó tó báyìí rárá irú òṣìṣẹ́lẹ̀ rí ó ń tà sí tó ń sọ nísìn ìgbínwó ìkòròwò ohun àbádìjọwò gígùn ló máa ń gún o ó yẹ kí á wá nǹkan míì dájúmọ́ fi ẹ̀wọ̀nú hàn kò yẹ pé strike ni àwọn ilé ìbò wọn ní jọjọ pé ó dájú wọ́wọ́ lọ èyí ò ní pé ìfọ̀rọ̀jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ kápẹ́ra wa jókòó ó dáa ju káwọn sọ pé à ń bára wa jà káwọn sọ pé ànígbà kò dáa kò ilé òtún rí bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè tán ti làmì láàká.
tẹ́ bá wá wo bí ìjọba àpapọ̀ bí ó ṣe máa ń gbà wọ́n láyé time bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn láti gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tí àwọn èèyàn bá ń fi ìmúnú hàn torí kí wọ́n tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ strike ọ̀hún kí wọ́n tó daṣẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n máa ti kọ lẹ́tà wọ́n lè fún wọn ní ọjọ́ 7 wọ́n lè fún wọn ní 14 days ìkìlọ̀ ó máa ti ń ṣáájú kí ló dé tó fi jẹ́ pé tí wọn ò bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gan-an ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní wọn ò tiẹ̀ ní fẹ́ gbọ̀n kankan. ẹ ṣe
òun náà là ń sọ ó dàbí wípé àwọn tá a yàn sípò tó ń tà ń pè níjọba yìí wọn ká àwa aráàlú sí torí pé ìwà kò kàn mí lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ni wọ́n kọ sí kó tó di pé èèyàn lọ sí àjọ ń bá ìjọba jà àjẹgẹrẹ kan wọn ò ti kọ lẹ́tà gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ sísọ wọn ò fún wọn ní gbèdéke ọjọ́ díẹ̀ ọjọ́ 7 àwọn lọ ọjọ́ 7 ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí wọ́n wàá ṣe nǹkan kan sí olójú pẹ́ tó báyìí àní mò ń sọ wípé a kà á rírọ ní bóòtọ́ ni níbi oṣù 4 tán ṣe ìpòrò gan wọn láwọn kan láwọn ò mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń ṣe ìpòrò gan ìdí ẹ̀ ni pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹni tó gbé òṣùwọ̀n tó yẹ kó fi sí ipò àwọn kan náà wà bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ bínú ló fi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ipò yìí ṣe pé wọ́n náà ló fẹ́ gbàpótí ó sì wọlé ó dà mọ́ bọ̀ á ṣe mínísítà bí ohun tó lọ ẹni tí ò mọ̀ kankan nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wọ́n ń gbé síbẹ̀ ṣe rí nígbà tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn tó ń adarí ẹ̀kọ́ nígbà kan wà tí àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n kan bá àfá fún wa gbogbo àkókò yẹn nǹkan lọ mọ̀rẹ̀ ní kò sí ìjà kò sí kankan ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí àwọn kan àwọn tọ́sà ìdẹ́ gbé wọn síbẹ̀ mọ́ wà ń bẹ̀ yáàbá tó wà yẹ kó wà nípa ètò ọ̀gbìn ó ní ó mọ̀ ṣètò ẹ̀kọ́ bó ní nǹkan ò ṣe ní yí dàndé.
ẹ ṣe gan ni kí wà ní àwọn ìjàmbá tí ìyanṣẹ́lódì yìí ti kó bá àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àti orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà.
tá a bá ń sọ ìjàmbá àmúpọ̀ èkíní àwọn tó jẹ́ ọmọbìnrin ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí lọ́mọ̀ ti lọ ilé ọkọ wọn kò ti ní ìwé ti di ọdún máa ń bẹ̀yẹn nìyẹn àwọn tó jẹ́ ọkùnrin àwọn kìnnì kan wà bíi software nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ti involve in it tí wọ́n ti pé kìnnì ìmọ̀ ìmúwó wà kí làwọn á lọ jókòó ṣe ní iléèwé àwọn olọ́mọ́ńtà wọn jàre táàfọ̀rọ̀ wé wọn lẹ́nu wò tọ́gbìn tó ń wí nì èyí kò dáa fórílẹ̀-èdè à ń sọ pé kò sí ní tá à ń pèsè tó yẹ ká kó lo òkè ọ̀kun òun ló ń jẹ́ kó wo dọ́là kó já wo náírà wa nítàn mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n nísìnyí gan-an àwọn ọmọ ọjọ́ ọ̀la wa àwọn ọmọ tó yẹ ká lò níbi iṣẹ́ tí ẹkọ́nọ́mì orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí ó fi rú gọ́gọ́ àwọn náà wà lẹ́yìn tó ní sọ pé àwọn olùkọ́ àwọn tiẹ̀ lọ òwe ọ̀mọ́ ìjàmbá gbáà ni o tí ó sì dáa.
Ó dà bí gbogbo ẹ ṣe wá rí báyìí àwọn òbí wọn tiẹ̀ tó ń sọ lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta pé àwọn ti ṣetán láti máa dá ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá láti fi gbárùkù ti ètò ẹ̀kọ́ torí lójú tí wọ́n rò pé bóyá ìjọba ò lówó tó láti yanjú gbogbo aáwọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ ni ǹjẹ́ ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá bó ló ṣe rí ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí òbí bó ló ṣe rí lára yín.
ẹ ṣe rí àwọn ibi tí wọ́n ti sanwó jù nílé ẹ̀kọ́ òun ni àwọn yunifásitì tó jẹ́ ti ìjọba àpapọ̀ síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ gan-an owó tó ń san ó ń tó bí 100,000 ẹgbẹ̀rún tó yẹ pé ó ní àwọn òbí lára gan-an nígbà tá a bá wá tún wá sọ wípé kán tún máa san 10,000 kan ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá kí tí gbogbo òbí ló mọ̀ lè rí eléyìí sàn èyí táwọn sọ ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ yìí èyí tí òrùbí sọ pé èyí tí ó fi iṣẹ́ kan tàbí kejì náà fi ń rí owó iléèwé wọn san kán tó sanwó ilé gọbọi kán tó ra ìwé kán tó ra aṣọ kán tó ra bàtà à ń ra báàgì ìnáwó ìpọ̀ lọ́nà àwọn òbí ju wọ́n tún máa gbìmọ̀ràn pé káwọn òbí máa san ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàá lọ èmi ń tèmi ọ̀gá ẹ̀mẹ́jọ bí pé ìyàwó lèmi kọ́ sí èmi ò faramọ́.
àwọn kan tẹ̀ tí wá wòye pé ṣèbí wọ́n sọ pé ààrẹ ológun tó ti ṣolóògbé Abacha rárá àwọn owó tó kó pamọ́ sí òkè òkun nígbà yẹn pé US tún fẹ́ fi àwọn kankan bíi $23 million wọ́n fi dá padà sí Nàìjíríà pé kí ló dé tẹ́ kókó mú nínú owó yìí kẹ́ fi yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ ASUU kí àwọn ọmọ padà sílé ìwé kí lè rúgbà yín nípa rẹ̀ sọ.
ẹ ṣe ohun táwọn wí náà ni ẹ̀yin ò sí ń bẹ̀ èmi ò sí ń bẹ̀ kìí ṣe ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ tí owó yóò wọlé ni àmọ́ nǹkan fi ń ṣe àmọ́ tó bá mú bẹ̀ kò léèwọ̀ kó tiẹ̀ sọ pé ilé ìtújẹ ẹ̀kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ náà káwọn kọ́kọ́ yanjú ẹ̀ owó tá àkúkú retí pé yóò wá ni ó láwọn èèyàn sọ pé owó bàbá wa ti ń bẹ lọ́rùn ni ó sì ti ń dẹ́ sọ́dọ̀ wa nísìn ó yẹ ká lò ó fún ẹ̀kọ́ yìí ṣùgbọ́n àmọ́ ibi tó ń lọ ò ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu nílẹ̀ kan pé wọ́n náà fi ń ṣe bíríìjì tó ti fi sínú bọ́jẹ̀tì nígbà wọn fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọdún yìí tó ti kà jáde pé báyìí náà fẹ́ ná lé lórí wọn rówó pé tí Abacha tí ó fẹ́ dá padà sí wa pé òun làwọn ò ná ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ó gba kínní o lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà aláǹlé corruption bá a ṣe ń lé corruption ní corruption náà ń lé wa o ń lé wa kiri gan-an káàrí ojútùú sí i.
àlejò wa ẹ ṣeun kó wa tó tó nù láti àárọ̀ so ní ni a fẹ́ fi àdàgbà ìpele àkọ́kọ́ lórí abala àlejò wa a fi ṣe ẹ ṣe ẹ kú ìdíje.
ẹ ṣé o.
Thank you so much.
ẹ kú ètò lónìí.
Olúwafẹ́mi Bíbílárì. Thank you for making it to the program.
Thank you.
Yes, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on the first guest segment of the Saturday morning trade. It is now time for the Governor's Week.
Greetings to viewers at home. You are welcome to Governors This Week. It is a moment to recapitulate some of the official functions of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola and his deputy, Mr. Benedict Alabi, during the outgoing week. My name is Adebare Ejimakide. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has recapitulated the commitment of his administration to provision of qualitative education to students across the state. Governor Oyetola made this unwavering resolve known while inaugurating the implementation committee for the upgrade of Osun State College of Education, Ilesha, to a full-fledged university.
Ilesha University in the state of Osun kicked off with the inauguration of implementation committee of the institution by Governor Adegboyega Oyetola. The ceremony held at the Governor's Office Executive Lounge in the State Government Secretariat in facilitating a smooth takeoff of the institution. Addressing the implementation committee, Governor Oyetola reiterated his commitment towards qualitative education to the citizenry across the state. He maintained that his administration remained focused in giving quality education and assisting the people realizing their full potential with the upgrading of Ilesha College of Education to a university, adding that the decision was born out of a rigorous and thorough consideration of benefits derivable from upgrading Ilesha College of Education. The governor noted it is also aimed at satisfying the yearnings and aspirations of the people of Ijesha land, as well as impacting positively on internally generated revenue through operation of best global practice in academic studies.
The decision to upgrade the College of Education in Ilesha, I must note, is not out of a product of mere fanciful effort, but one that is a product of thorough and rigorous interrogation, characteristics of the culture of deep engagement, for which this administration is noted. Among others, we also took into copious consideration the College of Education is existing infrastructural human resources asset as the state's oldest college of education in Nigeria.
In their separate remarks, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Dr. Charles Akinola, as well as the representative of the Speaker of the State House of Assembly and the Chairman House Committee on Education, Honorable Babatunde Ibirogba, lauded Governor Oyetola for backing his words with action by ensuring that the dream of Ilesha University becomes a reality, stressing that implementation committee is packed with high-flying scholars who have demonstrated academic excellence in various ivory towers, which is reassuring for the future of the institution. Just as the chairman of the implementation committee, Professor Oluwaina, expressed optimism on the capability of the committee to deliver effectively on its mandate. High point of the occasion was the inauguration of the 8-man implementation committee made up of erudite scholars, including Professor Isaac Adewale, among others, drawn from prominent ivory towers by Governor Adegboyega Oyetola. Dignitaries in attendance were the wife of the governor, Mrs. Kafayat Oyetola, the deputy governor, Mr. Benedict Alabi, the secretary to the state government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, as well as members of the State Executive Council.
The governor of the state of Osun, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, has described the Speaker, State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Timothy Oweye, as a dedicated, loyal, and reliable leader. This is just as Governor Oyetola extolled his leadership style, which has contributed immensely to the progress, development of the state, and the growth of the ruling party. Governor Oyetola gave this description in Osogbo at the 50th birthday anniversary of Right Honorable Timothy Oweye.
Osun State House of Assembly Legislative Quarters, venue of the prayer section, organized to mark Honorable Timothy Oweye, who turns 50. Today's Tuesday, colorful and historic event it was, as hundreds of people of note from all walks of life joined Honorable Timothy Oweye on his golden age anniversary. Leading the harries of notable Nigerians, including politicians and public office holders, was the governor of the state, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, his wife, Mrs. Kafayat Oyetola, deputy governor, Mr. Boyega Alabi, APC chairman in the state, Prince Boyega Famodun, secretary to the governments of the state of Osun, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, and members of the executive council, speakers of Ekiti and Ondo State, among others. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, in his remarks, described the celebrant as an iconic leader, who was his commitment and loyalty as well as humorous disposition towards piloting the affairs of the state assembly is second to none. Governor Oyetola said emphatically that Honorable Owoye's devotion to stimulate the relationship between executive and legislative arm of government makes him stand out in the business of legislation, a feat which he affirmed his unwavering association with the birthday boy. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola thereafter prayed Almighty God to elongate Honorable Timothy Owoye's life as he celebrates his golden age anniversary.
He's a very reliable, wonderful individual. He has managed the house in such a way that there is no time we have any issue between the executive and the legislature. It's very uncommon in most states because he's a man of principle, a man that believes in God, and he's a man that is so committed to the party.
Goodwill messages, APC State Chairman Prince Boyega Famodun, Speakers Ondo State House of Assembly Honorable Bamidele or Lawyer Logun, and his counterpart in Ekiti State Honorable Fumini Afuye, as well as Osun State House Assembly Clerk Mr. Simeon Amusa gently commended the celebrants' efficiency and resourcefulness. In his address, Osun State House Assembly Presiding Officer Honorable Timothy Owoye said he is under the unmerited grace despite all odds. Honorable Owoye also used the occasion to appreciate the immense support of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, his wife Mrs. Kafayat Oyetola, Deputy Governor Mr. Boyega Alabi, all his colleagues, as well as the staffers of the State Assembly. Owoye, in the course of celebration, expressing his unwavering determination to use the rest of his life to serve God and humanity. The speaker, who had read a lesson from the Holy Scripture to appreciate God for taking care of him all this long, he said he enjoys unmerited grace in all ramifications. Earlier, the chaplain and chief imam of the State Assembly complex fed the gathering with the food of life. Highlights of the occasion were the cutting of 50 birthday and endless praises to God.
That's what we can take today on the program, and this is the parting point. Keep a date with us coming Saturday for a fresh edition. I am Adibare Chimakide. Enjoy your weekend and stay blessed.
Ọ̀ṣun. Tiwantiwa ní ìpínlẹ̀ àwa. Tiwantiwa ní ìpínlẹ̀ àwa. gòkè àgbà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a ní ìfẹ́ ara wa. Ká sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba wa. Ẹ gbé Ọ̀ṣun lárugẹ. Nílé Ifẹ̀ l'Óṣogbo. Nílé Ṣáà l'Ẹdẹ. L'Éjìgbò nílà Ọ̀ràngún. Ní Gbọ̀ngán ní Kírun. Kí tilẹ̀ tòkó kó parapọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé Ọ̀ṣun lárugẹ. Ọ̀ṣun kó dàgbà kó jí kí araba. Tiwantiwa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Tiwantiwa ní ìpínlẹ̀ àwa. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Ká sowọ́pọ̀ onílára. 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 Kò ní ṣẹ́wọ́, kò ní àríṣe. Kí gbogbo oníṣòwò kẹrẹ́rẹ́ ọjà jẹ. Òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ẹ̀kọ́ ìṣiṣẹ́ o. Káboyún bí wẹ́rẹ́ kákan dọ́lọ́mọ. Ìbùkún owó, ìbùkún ọmọ o. Àwọn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Àwọn ní ìpínlẹ̀ àwa. Àwọn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Ká sowọ́pọ̀ onílára. Àwọn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Ká sowọ́pọ̀ onílára. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká ní ìṣọ̀kan. Kí Ọ̀ṣun kó lè gòkè àgbà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a ní ìfẹ́ ara wa. Ká sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba wa. Ẹ gbé Ọ̀ṣun lárugẹ. Nílé Ifẹ̀ l'Óṣogbo. Nílé Ṣáà l'Ẹdẹ. L'Éjìgbò nílà Ọ̀ràngún. Ní Gbọ̀ngán ní Kírun. Kí tilẹ̀ tòkó kó parapọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé Ọ̀ṣun lárugẹ. Ọ̀ṣun kó dàgbà kó jí kí araba. Tiwantiwa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Tiwantiwa ní ìpínlẹ̀ àwa. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Ká sowọ́pọ̀ onílára.
Welcome back. It is still the Saturday morning treat, and yes, Osun is 31 today, and we are still expecting our guest actually.
Yes.
But before we start the discussions about Osun, we will take this report. Let's stay tuned. Created out of the old Oyo State in August 27, 1991, by the then military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida. 31 years ago, it was a mixture because of the challenges of what many regarded as teething problems that often confront a new project. On another hand, the birth of Osun State elicited joy because it was a dream come true. The people had yearned for accelerated development. 31 years down the line, that singular act, creation of the state, has indeed revved out the pace of economic growth and development in the state. Taking a retrospective look at the state since its creation, it could be emphasized that the state has been blessed with administrators, civilians, and military whose aims were to develop the state and make its work shoulder high among committee of states in the Federation. The state could be said to be a product of determination by its founding fathers who struggled and labored assiduously and conscientiously to achieve the creation of the state. All the past civilian governors and their military counterparts tried their best at various times in the history of the state to add their own quarters to its success story. Then, Colonel Leo Shegun Ajiborisha was the first military administrator of Osun State. He was there from August 1991 to January 1992.
I am about to release the appointment from the team that will pilot all the administration of the new state. Therefore, the former acting Chief Judge of Oyo State, Honorable Mr. Justice Akin Abara, is now the acting Chief Judge of Osun State. The former commissioners in Oyo State, who are indigenes of Osun State, have now been redesignated Assistant Special Advisors, and I have decided to assign them portfolios as follows. Mr. O.A. Otajoro will be the Attorney General, as well as being in charge of Justice Affairs. Chief Ademola Shadiwe, Finance. Dr. Oluwale Onowumi, Health. Mrs. Sirifatu Akao, Agric, Commerce and Industry. Engineer E.K.A. Bamuboni, Information, Social Development, Youth and Sport. Lieutenant Colonel P.O. Odediro retired will be in charge of education. The Ministry of Works, Housing and Transport will be directly supervised by me as the military administrator.
Late Alhaji Isiaka Adetunji Adeleke was the first civilian governor of the state. He came into power on the platform of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in January 1992 and left in November 1993. Then, Colonel Abel Akale of Engineering Construction Regiment, Ede, stepped in as a stopgap administrator for 3 weeks between November and December 1993. Anthony Udofia, who was then a Navy commander, was the administrator from December 1993 to August 1996. Colonel Anthony Obi took over from Anthony Udofia on the 22nd of August 1996 and left in August 1998. Colonel Theophilus Bamiboye served after him from 1998 to 1999. Chief Adebisi Akane became the second civilian governor on the return of democratic governance in the state. He served from May 1999 to May 2003. Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola succeeded Chief Bisi Akande and was the governor from May 2003 to November 2010. Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola was the governor of the state from November 2010 to November 2018. Incumbent Osun Governor Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola has not only fully sustained and built on the legacies of his predecessors, but is pulling resources, however hard it is, to surpass their achievements. He assumed office on the 27th of November 2018. OSBC News salutes the good intentions of Governor Oyetola and all past governors and military administrators for putting the state on a sound footing of growth and development. 31 years after its creation, Osun has justified its existence as it has developed its full potentials and leapt steps ahead of its peers. OSBC News appreciates the people of the state for always keeping up with the Omoluabi ethos synonymous with Osun. It believes that the greatest honor that could be bestowed on the founding fathers of the state is for all and sundry to join hands with government at all levels in effort to spread developmental projects to every nook and cranny of the states. The greatest honor that could be done is for everybody to join hands together to make Osun great. Yes, congratulations once again, Osun State, Osun State 31.
Yeah.
Kaide, where were you 31 years ago when Osun was created?
I was a small boy. I was a small boy. But all the same, congratulations. Our state is 31 today.
Yes, our state is 31. Yes, you have the opportunity to call. Tell us what you think about the state. Has the dreams of the founding fathers been achieved? Yes, the number to dial is 080 69573792. The number once again, 0806 9573792. Yes, look at the leaders, those that have ruled Osun since 1991 when General Ibrahim Babangida retired, actually created the state.
Yes.
Out of the old Oyo state.
Yeah, that was August 27, 1991.
And today makes it exactly 31
years ago.
So you said you were a small boy when it was created.
Yes.
But were you able to collect any events?
You see, I was. You see, when the pronouncement was made as to the creation of the state, you see, it was a jubilation all over the state. Everybody, the mood became electrifying all of a sudden, and everybody began to jubilate all about. We were so excited as a small boy there.
Okay.
We were so excited, very, very happy about it. Say, no Osun, our own state. So everybody was happy about it.
Yes, and where were you then?
I was at Oshogbo here.
Really?
I was at Oshogbo.
Okay. Yes, you can call us on the number 0806 9573792. You were at Oshogbo when the announcement was made.
Yes.
So you experienced a wide jubilation and everything. Now, let's look down the line. Look at the leaders, different people that have ruled the state since then.
Yes. You see, immediately the announcement was made, the first person that was pronounced as the military administrator was Colonel Leo Shegun Ajiborisha.
Okay.
I think the man retired as a major general anyway, but then he was a colonel. So he was received with accolades. See, the way the civilians moved to receive him that day, I was so happy. I mean, I was excited because at that time, there was no relationship as such between the civilians and the military. But seeing the civilians in their regalia going to meet a military administrator in khaki, so all these things, you see, it was an excitement anyway.
It was an excitement. Yes, 31 years down the line. What can you now say? Let's look at the development taking place.
You see, if you look at the trend between 1991 and now, we have every cause to thank God. If you look at the education sector, you look at health, you see, in those days, Ibadan was always regarded as our headquarters. If you want to do anything on education, you have to go to Ibadan. If you want to take your jam form, you have to go to Ibadan. Yeah, everything that has to do, even if you want to register your for your WAEC exam, you have to go to Ibadan. Everything was located at Ibadan then. But as soon as Osun was created, you see, all these federal parastatals began to move to Osun. Yes, you see, we began to witness this. I mean, the creation of the WAEC, the JAMB office, and federal pay office, and all sorts of things like that. And you see, if you want to do anything regarding your WAEC or you have issues with yourself, you don't have to go to Ibadan again. You have to do your thing in Osun. So that was how, you see. And if you look at the trend in the education sector since then, in fact, you will have every cause to be happy for our state, because you don't have to move far before you can.
You don't have to go to Ibadan again.
You don't have to go to Ibadan again. And you see, we have also witnessed the presence of higher institutions here in the state. We have the universities, we have the polytechnics, and we have colleges of education. So you don't have to apply for a school very far before you can access higher education. So we have every cause to thank God.
And in terms of infrastructure?
Well, if you look at the infrastructural development, anyway, Osun has gone. We can say that Osun has really developed in terms of infrastructure, because as at creation, how many roads were here? Even in Osogbo, that was the state capital then, that was made the state capital. How many roads do we have here then? But if you look at the situation now, well, you cannot say but to happy about the development so far.
Exactly. OSBC 2 also moved down.
Yes. You see, that of OSBC was something that one will forever live to remember.
Wow.
Because although I was not part of the organization BCS, I was not, but I had friends there.
Okay.
If you see the way my friends were chased out of BCOS.
And you were calling yourself a small boy then. Look at the way you are telling us the story about what happened 31 years ago, and you said you were a small boy then. Okay, now let's hear it. How were they chased out of the business?
Yes, you see, the thing is that as soon as the creation of Osun was pronounced, you see, those who were in service there, BCOS, as we have it there, the larger chunk of the workforce at BCOS were majorly from this part of Old Oyo State there. So now, the moment Osun was pronounced, those who are indigent there, they thought this is their own time to occupy positions.
Okay.
So they were eager to see the Osun people moved out of the system. So that was how, that was what I mean by say they were chased out.
Okay.
And the moment they moved down here, I was always with my friend, although my friend is of blessed memory now, but I was always with him. So I knew how they were moving here and there, seeking accommodation, then trying to see that, because my mom was in admin.
Okay.
So it was part of those who were trying to see how to settle their staff, how to get accommodation, how to ensure that things start off on a very smooth note.
And then
today,
it was only OSBC.
Yeah.
Look at how many radio stations we have now.
Then, yes, it was only OSBC. But later, we have Good FM, we have NTA, and
Unique
FM. All those, those are new generation stations, I would say. They are new generation stations. So now, the way we have it today, anyway, we have every cause to thank God about the life of Osun and what we've been able to achieve so far.
Yes, we have every cause to thank God. And the development of the state is a collective responsibility.
Yes.
It shouldn't be left in the hands of government alone. We are all part of the system.
Yes.
Once you play your part and somebody else plays his or her part, the state will keep progressing.
Yes, yes.
We need peace in the state, we need unity, we need togetherness, we need love. We don't need to be divided over anything. Osun remains Osun, no matter what, no matter your religion, no matter your political divide. The most important thing is that you are part of the state and you should contribute to the development of the state. Stop fanning the embers of discord, embers of disunity. Let us remain united. And Osun will keep progressing.
Yes.
Osun will keep progressing.
By
I am
God's
happy.
grace.
I am
By God's
happy
grace.
we are celebrating today.
Yes.
I'm happy we are celebrating, and I pray that God will spare our lives to witness many more celebrations. Yes, you want to be part of this discussion, you can dial the number 0806 957 3792. The number once again 0806 957 3792. Now, as an indigenous of the state, what are your expectations the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I expect Osun to have to have witnessed more developments and more growth in all ramifications, in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of agriculture, because agriculture is supposed to be our mainstay of the economy here. So, in fact, and I also expect a situation whereby our youth will be able to contribute more to the development of the state.
The youth should be able to contribute more to the development of the state. Yes, we will take a short break now. When we come back, Saturday Morning Trade continues. Please stay tuned.
Yeah, you are welcome back on the second segment of, second guest segment of our program, Saturday Morning Treat. And we have in the house with us one of the founding fathers of the state, Honorable Dusu Oladipo. Baba, you are welcome on the program.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Happy celebration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, Oluchi.
Yes.
Over to you.
Osho is 31 today.
Oh, yes.
I'm so happy, was so excited. Tell us how it all started.
Well, we have to look at the time when it started. It started as far back as 1948.
Okay.
Yes.
Not even 1991.
Yes, started about 1948. When Baba Atauja of Oshogbo Adenle, Samuel Adenle, was championed the cause for the autonomy of Osun Division, Osun Province, from Ibadan, because we are under the imperial rule of the Ibadans. We call them the Ajeles, and those Ajeles, they were very, very oppressive, and he championed the cause. He was the chairman of Osun Division, and the latest Lakintola was the secretary, and they had amendments from Okuku, Ikirun, Ikire, Ogonshaw, and all of them. So that is how they started. They want autonomy for Osun. And the things continued until 1954, when Osun Division was really created. 1954 was really created. And from there and then, Oshogbo became the headquarters of Osun Division. And North Province, we are still under Ibadan Province. Eventually, the new agitation started with Papa Kola Balogun, Abolade, those people, 1950, First Republic. So they moved from just mere division to creation of state. And during that time, the Ogbomoso local government, the three Ogbomoso local government, decided not to follow us because they wanted the capital to be in Ogbomoso. And since the divisional headquarters have been in Oshogbo for the time immemorial, we from this section we say no, we will not. So that's how they opted out. And they said that the thing continued until the military took over. During the Second Republic, nothing was done. We couldn't achieve anything because there are so many applications, so many states wanting to be created. And with the political dilution, nobody will like to offend anybody. So there were more than 50-something applications for the creation of states. So the National Assembly couldn't do much. So that is how that time went. But during the creation of the interregnum, the military interregnum, we decided that there should be fresh application. And that application, I was opportuned to be in the Constituent Assembly in 1988. 88-89 Constituent Assembly, it was a year I was elected from Ifelodun. So there was a window of opportunity for us to make fresh, because more or less a democracy. You had the opportunity, you had the all the immunities. Anything will stay at the Constituent Assembly was more like at the National Assembly. So there's no liability, though there was restriction that we should not talk about the creation. But I came, I went around the elders, the obas, and the leaders, and I was able to put up a memo, a motion. On Wednesday, 19th October 1988, in the floor of the Constituent Assembly, articulating reasons why Osun State should break away from or should be created out of the old Oyo State. And God so good, I was the secretary of the Oyo caucus, of the Constituent Assembly members. And the late Alhaji Lam Adesina was the chairman. So I had the opportunity of making memos and so on. So that one, I was able to articulate the thing. And the thing is gazetted, it's in the hazard, you know, on a daily basis, they print out all the procedures, verbatim procedures. So the thing is there. The Osun caucus within the Constituent Assembly, including Alhaji Lasisi from Osogbo, and a host of others, we put up a memo.
You see, Baba Wale Lasisi.
Wale Lasisi. Wale Lasisi. No, they were Wale Lasisi. And a host of others. So we put up a memo to the military rulers by then. President, General Babangida, Ibrahim Babangida. So the agitation, we submitted the thing and we presented the thing. The thing was accepted, but nothing was done on it until we got assistance from Ogundoyin. Ogundoyin wanted a University of Osun State to be created to be sited in Ogbomoso. But to be sited in Iruwa. The University of Osun, the University of Oyo State has been sited in Ogbomoso, Lautech. So we felt that if Osun State is created from Oyo State, Ogbomoso will go with Osun.
He thought Ogbomoso would follow.
Yes, so there will be a move since Ibadan had gotten a University of Ibadan for a very long time. That it will be part of that will be an avenue, a window for him to get what is known as Oyo State University in Iruwa.
That should be his own town.
In his own town. So he called me because I was his lawyer. He called me, said that, well, Honorable, why can't we put up a memo, because he's very, very friendly. He was very, very friendly with Babangida. And as a matter of fact, the father-in-law of Babangida was the chairman of his company, NECO Engineering, multi-billion
company,
in assistance. So he said we should put up a memo. Okay. I came down to Osun, to Osogbo. I saw Kefia, we put Kefia as our venue. Baba Kola Balogun, Abolade, and a host of others. Then he came. He looked at the memo. He said that we should involve all the first class obas. So we went to the Oni official, late Oni official. Of Elisha land. All of them were in support. So that's how we put up a memo. He says that we should not put the issue of capital. That it should not be made our proponent demand. There's a creation of Osun State. So after the creation, you cannot lobby for who will be the capital. So we put up that memo without any without any town in the capital. Ede was agitating, Ife was agitating, Elisha was agitating for the capital, but we were able to sign the memo. And Chief Adeseun Ogundo, he took the thing to his friend Babangida, and with the help of God, we were able to get the thing on 27th of August, 1991.
That's 1 year ago, to be precise.
And there was celebration, and there was Oshobo that has been our mind all along.
Division headquarters.
From division headquarters to the state capital. So all those things are in the archives. All what I've said and some of the things I didn't say are in the archives, which one can easily verify. So that is how Osun State came into existence.
Yeah, Baba. If you look at the journey 31 years ago, what will you say? Will you say that Osun has developed to the extent that you envisaged then?
Development is a thing of spatial, we call it spatial analysis. That is, where were we in 21 years ago? We cannot say we're in the same place, both physical, socially, and being part and parcel of the committee of states in the federation. So before August 27, we were in Oyo State. We are more or less a pariah state. As we got our autonomy from Ibadan, hegemony or imperialistic rulers, we were able to get our own state. And from there and there have been developments. We have University of Osun State University. Otherwise, we have been called Oyo State University. So University of Osun State University, and there are a lot of other things. We have our own governor, we have our own parliament, we have our own judiciary, we have everything, and Osun State broadcast. Otherwise, it will just be an annex. So that's part of development. But we can say that what is the pace of development? Pace of development depends on the leadership. You see, and that is why the right leadership must be at the aim of affairs at any time. If you don't get the right leadership, one will still be crawling. All along it has been up and down, up and down, up and down. But we thank God that we have gotten our bearings. Because without a roadmap being created by a leader, already created by a leader, the state will be like a ship without
shepherd,
without rudder,
a rudderless ship. So we thank God that over time we have had leaders who are disciplined, who are visionary, and who can make things happen. Because definitely resources are very, very important for development. What is our IGR, internally generated revenue? What is our statutory allocation? And what is our population? Because when you start out statutory allocation, it means that definitely there will be lots and lots of parameters already put in place. The population, the land mass, about 6 or 7 criteria will be being examined. So in statutory allocation, we are more or less near the bottom. So, but the only thing that I think we need to do right now is that there must be, last year or the year before, there was an economic summit. There was an educational summit. There are lots and lots of summits. How do we implement those summits to make them be a realistic thing that the state can move forward and develop in the right path? Because before there can be rapid, systematic and sustainable development, leadership must be up and going.
Leadership must be up and going. So would you not say that the dream of the founding fathers have been realized?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
But you know, it's a process.
Okay.
One step, then another. If you are climbing, you can't climb, you can't take 2 steps at the same time, one will fall. So, but we are moved from the floor, probably we are going to the 7th or 8th floor or the 10th floor. I think we are moved to about the 3rd or 4th floor. So there's still room for development.
So where do you see the state in the next 10 years? The state, where do you see Osun State in the next 10 years?
The state of Osun, in the next 10 years, Osun State, one, leadership must be right.
Okay.
Leadership, followership too must be right.
Okay.
Because there's no leader without follower. So we followers must do everything in our capacity to really make sure that we make things really happen. That is, we must give the leader the right advice.
Okay.
We must be at our post.
Okay.
I mean, our duties. All professionals, everybody must work in tandem for the target, which has been actually agreed upon by the followers and the leaders. So, you see, anybody who is governing the state is a trustee. Is a trustee of the resources. And before you can say that your name will be written in gold and silver, definitely you have to behave like Awolowo. You have to behave like Bolage, and among other things. So that because we know all those people, that what they said, what they preached, they did. Because get to Lekki or Papa, I will get to all those Ikoyi, Pretoria, and you can't get any house for Awolowo. The whole of Bodija, Awolowo built his own house in Okeado.
Yes.
And virtually all his children, they went to public schools and they attained. The same thing with Bolage. Bolage built his own house in Okeado.
Yes.
He had no house in Bodija. Bodija said no house. And he had the correct vision. He was disciplined. And he has a mission. Mission, 5-point development agenda created by them, followed by UPN 5-point
agenda,
and they put education as the prime.
Yes.
I was the first set of Awolowo product.
And free education.
Free education. And with that one, otherwise I would have been a farmer or a mechanic or anything. With that one I was able to attend University of Ife. Came up with second-class upper in economics. I went to University of Lagos. I did my master's degree in business administration. I came back to University of Ife. I did my law. I went to the law school. I become a professional lawyer. If not because of that foundation. And that is why I say education should be taken very, very serious. I wasn't happy when I saw Osun State as number 34, 35 in the YK something. Just beating Zamfara. I wasn't happy. And we need to really look at what is the problem. You see, Japan doesn't have any resources. No oil, nothing whatsoever. But they have good and right skill, technology, education. So education should be made a prime thing in our development efforts.
Okay, thank you. Baba, ẹ jẹ́ kí a padà sí èdè abínibí wa. Ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìkan lára àwọn ọ̀tọ̀kùlú àwọn àgbà ọ̀jẹ̀ tó ṣagbátẹrù bí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ṣe di ìpínlẹ̀. Tá bá wò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti pé ọdún 21 sí tá dálẹ̀. Tá bá wá fojú wò látẹ̀yìnwá títí dásìkò, ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìkan lára àwọn àgbà yẹn, ṣé ẹ lè sọ pé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti dàgbà dé ibi tí ẹ fi ojú sùn gbà yẹn?
Ẹ ṣe pọ̀ tí a ń pè ní dàgbà. Èèyàn lè dàgbà kéèyàn tó dàdí. A lè sọ pé a ti dàgbà àti àmúra láti dàdí dáadáa. Èèyàn tún lè dàgbà kó mọ́ ti dàgbà sànkó. So gbogbo yẹn ní ìgbésẹ̀ tí táwọn olórí wa náà ń try láti gbé. Àdéhùn ńlá gùn ìjẹnu jẹ́ kí ogun ìlú jáde. Wọ́n ń gbìyànjú bí agbára wọn ṣe mọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa tí a jẹ́ tá bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ yìí ní lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́, àwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n ti kú, àwọn Abọ́ládé, àwọn Kọ́lá Balógun, àwọn bàbá Adélé, àwọn bàbá Fámọdún. They are looking at what is happening. Inú wọn dùn sí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ àbí inú wọn ò dùn. And that's how we need to look at the whole thing. Àbí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ayé gbọ́dọ̀ máa wo nǹkan tí a máa ń ṣe nísìnyí yẹn. Inú wọn á dùn pé a ní ilé àwíyé àbí ilé akéde.
Ilé akéde sí ilé àwíyé. Láti ilé akéde ó di ilé àwíyé.
Ilé àwíyé làwọn yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Agbóra àwáyé náà. A ní yunifásitì tiwa náà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Lẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ gíga Ọ̀ṣun State University àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ojú ọ̀nà wa náà dẹ̀ ń dà. A ní secretariat tí ó ṣe é wò tó dáa. Àwọn ọmọ wa náà dẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú ṣùgbọ́n kò tí tó. Tí ẹ̀ ń bá ló ti tó mí pé ojoojúmọ́ la máa gbọ́n sí gbọ́n ṣe ń lọ síwájú náà ni àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ máa gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tí a fi máa bá ìgbà mu. Báwo ni Ọ̀ṣun State máa bá ìgbà mu tí a gbọ́dọ̀ máa tá a gbọ́dọ̀ máa ṣe ní tàbí nǹkan tí tó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan fún àwọn olórí àti gbogbo ọ̀tá kìlú ọmọ Ọ̀ṣun. Báwo ni ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ṣe bó la ṣe gbé lárugẹ bó ni ó ṣe tó kó gòkè àgbà sí tó fi dàgbà ṣáàkó.
Tí a bá wá wo àsìkò tí ẹ̀yin tiraka pé kí wọ́n ti dá Ọ̀ṣun State sílẹ̀, a mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ owó àti ọrọ̀ ajé ó jẹ́ nǹkan kan tó máa ń jẹ́ kí ìlú gbòòrò. Àwọn ọ̀nà owó lẹ fojú sí nígbà yẹn pé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ti máa lè máa rí àwọn nǹkan tó fi máa tọ́jú àwọn èèyàn rẹ̀. Àwọn ọ̀nà owó lẹ fojú sí nígbà yẹn. Ṣé àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń jẹ́ olórí láti ìgbà yẹn ṣé wọ́n ń tọ́?
Ọlọ́run fún wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, Ọlọ́run fún wa ní ọrọ̀ ajé tó dáa. Alọ́rọ̀ ajé. Ṣé rí nǹkan tí a tẹ fojú sí irú ọdún Ọ̀ṣun yẹn? Ó yẹ kó máa mú owó ńláńlá wá. Ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀ràn míyàn Ilé-Ifẹ̀ àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn kan tí Ọlọ́run dá síbí yìí. A ní ilẹ̀ wa dáa, a nílẹ̀, a ní igbó ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ni a lè gbèsè nípa igbó, nípa alẹ̀, nípa omi tá à ń rí. Tá gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ni pé ẹni tó bá já ṣáájú àtàwa tí a tún jẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣèjọba lé lórí a gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí ẹ̀tanú pé à ń gbéra wa lẹ́sẹ̀ à ń bára wa jà. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ní àlàáfíà ìjọba nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ṣùgbọ́n ó tún máa pọ̀ sí. Ibi tálàáfíà bá wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èèyàn lè ronú. Àwọn tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ wá ṣe nǹkan wọ́n á lè ṣe. Irú ọdún Ọ̀ṣun tí a ṣe láìpẹ́ yìí tí ìjà bá wà tí a ń para èèyàn tí a ń jí èèyàn gbé tí a ń ṣe wá tí a ń ṣe èèyàn àwọn èèyàn ò ní wà. Gbọ́ngbà tí a bá rí pé ìlú tùbà ó tùsẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn ó wà nígbà ibi yìí o ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n á dọ́kòwò síbí Adẹ̀mú gbọ́dọ̀ mú ẹ̀kọ́ ká mú ní ọ̀kúnkúndùn. Ó dàbí pé lórí ti àbájáde ìbò tó jáde àbí àbájáde
ètò ìsìndí
wáyẹ̀kì tó jáde inú mi ò dùn lórí ìlú kan àbí ìpínlẹ̀ kan tó la gbé ìyẹn ní Sanfara tí ó tiẹ̀ ní nǹkan kan tó gbé wa. Maiduguri àbí Borno gbé wa, Niger gbé wa, àwa la wà lẹ́yìn. Àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ Ìgbò gbogbo àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tó wà ní Ìgbò ní àṣepò kíní bí ìsìnkú bí ipò kẹta fipò kẹta. Kí ló fà á táwa náà lè ṣerú ẹ̀? Gbogbo nǹkan tí ó bá jẹ́ ìdènà a gbọ́dọ̀ mú kúrò. Torí ọmọ tí ìgbà tí wọ́n bá lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lẹ́yìn ó lè ronú wípé igbó yìí ó yẹ ká sọ dìgbòrò. Ọ̀nà yìí àlùmọ́nì kan wà nínú ilẹ̀ yìí àwáyàn a lè ní ọgbọ́n láti máa bá ṣe wà tí ó dẹ̀ fi ṣe tí ó fi di ọrọ̀ ajé tó dáa tàbí tó ń lù ṣe.
Tí a bá tún wá wò nídàkejì àwọn nǹkan wo lẹ́rù wípé ó kù sí tó yẹ kí àwọn kan tó fi ojú sí láti rí i pé ìdàgbàsókè nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ó tún tẹ̀síwájú.
Lórí pé gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ tí ó yẹ kéèyàn gbé náà ni gómìnà wa ló ń gbé nítorí pé ó ké sáwọn èèyàn jọ pé ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun jẹ́ alógún. Ó dé ké sí ọmọdé tàgbà àwọn tó wà lẹ́yìn òde àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n pé káyìí jọ fojú sùnkùn kún wò bóyá ọjọ́ mẹ́ta àbí ọjọ́ mẹ́rin ni kìnìún yẹn náà gbà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ìwé lórí ẹ̀ tá ń pè ní blueprint. Because bí o bá ní ọ̀nà wọ́n ní mọ́tò bá lòpò ní ìṣeré sá. Wọ́n ti fòpó yẹn sílẹ̀ kì í ṣe fún ìjọba tí wọ́n nìkan fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ni. Bó bá ẹ̀kọ́ ọdún méje ni oṣù ọdún mẹ́fà oṣù ọdún márùn-ún bí a bá fi kún a máa fi kún ni ṣùgbọ́n tí ò bá sí rárá yóò máa inú ìgbẹ́lẹ̀ yóò máa inú mi dùn pé irú ìlànà yẹn wà pẹ̀lú ìlànà yẹn náà pẹ̀lú ìlànà yẹn aráàlú ó mọ ibi táwọn ń lọ ìjọba náà yóò mọ ibi táwọn ń lọ àjọ fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ló dẹ̀ dá.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni bàbá láàrin ìṣẹ́jú kan torí àkókò tí kò wá pápá mọ́ra kí ni ìmọ̀ràn yín fún àwọn aráàlú?
Ìmọ̀ràn yín fún ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lápapọ̀.
Ìmọ̀lẹ̀ ìmọ̀ràn wa ní pé ìmọ̀ràn tèmi ní pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tí ó jẹ́ ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun pàtàkì pé kí afọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun dé ìkókè kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí ẹ̀tanú tàbí ìpòrògàn tàbí jà. Èkejì gbà lónígbà ká ẹni tó bá jẹ́ bọ́ra lórí káfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ mọ́ ẹni olórí ò gbọ́dọ̀ rí pé onìkan so ni òun ló ń gbọ́n tán kì í ṣe òun ló gbọ́n tán kò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ nígbéraga kò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ láfojúdi wọ́n ní abẹ́rẹ́ ọ̀nà kì í ṣe náà abẹ́rẹ́ ọ̀nà ọmọdé bá dẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó dórí ìrókò lágbàdo ọmọdé bá lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó dórí ìrókò ọmọdé àgbà tó dùbúlẹ̀ orí ju ti ẹni ọmọdé tó wà lórí ìgbà rere lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bọ̀wọ̀ àgbà, ẹ jẹ́ ká báwo làwọn àgbà ṣe ń ṣe. Wọ́n lè má lè sáré tó àwọn ọ̀dọ́ tàbí tó àwọn tí a bá náà wà ń bẹ báyìí nísìnyí. Ìgbọ́n gbà yẹn bá sọ pé ẹnu àgbà ń rùn àgbà náà rà jókòó sílé yóò máa wọ̀. Ìtí ó dẹ̀ máa ń kékeré ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ni pé èsì tó máa jáde níbẹ̀ kì í bójú mu.
Ẹ ṣé bàbá wa, ẹ kú wa tó tónu látàárọ̀.
I just want to say very big thank you to you for making it to the program this morning. Thank you so much for giving us insights and informed information about the creation of Osun State 31 years ago. Yes, viewers, I truly hope that you've enjoyed today's Saturday morning treat. Yes, we told you earlier that it's going to be a loaded package, and I'm sure we have not disappointed you. This is where we'll be drawing the curtains of today's edition of the program. The producer has been Oladayo Olanipeko, and the assistant producer is Abijaleo Adebisi. Not forgetting everyone that has contributed to the success of this program. Thank you so much. Kyrie.
I
want to say thank you to you too.
Thank you, Oluchi. Before we round it up, Oluchi, the next to come on the program is the commercial aspect.
Yes, it will be coming after the Saturday morning show.
Yes, it will be coming.
Yes. Yeah. Please stay tuned.
We at NAPO are committed to poverty eradication. We equally believe that the battle against poverty requires the effort of everyone.
Hello, welcome to Bridging the Gap, a program that is brought to you by Lift Above Poverty organization LAPO. And LAPO is a non-governmental organization that is health-focused because health is an important factor that contributes to human well-being and economic growth. And on the program this morning, we are going to be talking about health. We are going to be talking about lifestyle changes and healthy living. My name is Patience Nako Mwana, and thank you very much for taking our time to watch this program. Like I said earlier, we are going to be talking about lifestyle changes and healthy living. And healthy living, according to the World Health Organization, is a way of living that helps you to enjoy more aspects of your life. To hold this discussion with me this morning, I have Dr. Tony Elizabeth Faboya. Doctor, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Dr. Tony is the Chief Medical Officer from the Health Services Department, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. And with her, we are going to be talking about lifestyle changes and healthy living. But before we do that, we are going to take the LAPO message. Please don't go away. Stay with us.